nothing too awful crazy going on tonight. I have a couple beers that I'm just going to start off with these. I'm not going to mess around. I'm not going to try to dig too much into the information about them. This one's probably just honestly a rough guess because what I could find online is not very detailed. Pretty cool though because this brewery, the Spaten, or I think it's the Spaten Brewery, yeah. It opened up in like 1395. Think about that. That brewery's been around for what, 600 and 636 years? Crazy. That's probably the oldest brewery that I've dove into as far as just discovering a beer from a certain brewery. Really interesting. And how much more appropriate could it be because it's October, right? This is an Octoberfest beer. And like I said, this one right here is either going to be from the 90s or 2000s, just from what I can find. It is different looking than any of the photos that I can find online or anything like that. None of them had this imported metal or foil wrap on the top right here. And yeah, it's pretty neat, man. I think, yeah. Brewed and bottled by the Spaten Brewery in Munich, Germany. This thing's been in the fridge a while too. It's now I did bring a where's it at? I know I brought the flashlight in here. Just don't know what I've done with it. Give me just 1 second. Because we're going to take a look inside of these. I don't know what they look like on the inside, but they'll either be really good or really bad. There's everything right there, courtesy of Miss Marilyn right here. And if you guys haven't checked out Miss Marilyn's AnnandAllen.com, you should do that. Holidays coming up. Nothing, there ain't much better. Hey, Smokey, happy Saturday. Hope you and the gang are doing well. Well, CT, it's good to see you here, buddy. Thank you so much for that super chat, man. It's great to have all of these familiar names in the chat. It does actually give me this kind of a warm, fuzzy feeling every Saturday whenever I get to log in and do the live stream and get to see the same familiar faces coming back around. You know, I really appreciate having this family. I wish I could do more. I don't know how much I can say about that, but I feel like if I could do more, I would do it. I would do something to eventually, hopefully, all of us can get together, do like a legitimate Oldsmokey live stream get together. After I'm coming up on probably 5 years of doing live streams, coming up pretty close on that. So let's take a look. Oh wow, that is dark. Holy cow! I thought I'd be able to see in that, but I mean. Is that thing flashing? What is it? So, looks like some sediment in there has kind of decided to cling to the inner walls, as you can see with those like lines right there. Oh yeah, look at that. Definitely chunks floating around in there. I can see them a lot better in. Yeah, check that out. They look a lot bigger in person than they do on camera, but you guys can see in the frame rate on my camera, this light look like it's flashing, but it is not. It's just where it's an LED. Yeah, those chunks are. There we go. Oh, look at that. Yeah, buddy. Those are some big chunks now. Oh, boy. I shouldn't have shook it up, huh? Look at that. Plus whatever's, like, collected on the wall of it right there. This one, I'll bet I can't see. Yeah, we can see into it. Okay, so this one. Huh. This one doesn't appear to have anything floating in it. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, look at the... yeah, you guys can see the chunks now. Look at that. That is actually on the inside. It's hard to get the light. The light won't come through this bottle very well. It's such a dark... That's a good thing, though, when it's dark brown glass like that. A lot less likely to have sun damage. By the way, CT made that super chat a minute ago. I didn't even mention, you guys really should go over to CT's channel and, like, hook him up with a subscribe and watch a few of his videos, because I really enjoy watching CT's videos, so I just have to assume that you guys probably would too. Something weird today. My son's homecoming. It's this weekend, I guess, technically. I mean, I went to school there too for a year or so, something like that. So I guess technically it's my... Oh, there's a super chat. Okay, just 1 second and I'll get back to that. Anyway, it's homecoming. So there's been a whole week of stuff going on with my son. He's actually at the homecoming dance right now. And as I was setting up today, I started setting up for this live stream early today, like really early, just getting everything ready because I wasn't going to be here for half the day. And then I was going to have to come back and try to bang out everything I needed to bang out before I got started. And I had to dig this out, which this was literally buried on the very bottom of an old ration pile that I have. And there's a little bit of an interesting story behind this MRE right here. I'll tell you guys about that here in a second. But I turned on Eating History. I just went into my DVR because I came in here and my DVR was messed up anyway, and I had to reset everything. So I was like, yeah, I'll just play that instead of putting it on regular television and letting it play. And every time I've came in here, I've stopped and watched a little bit of Eating History. And I've really enjoyed the little bits that I've watched. Every time I've come in here and been watching it, I've caught myself with a smile ear to ear. And I actually texted Matt. Matt was the showrunner, producer of the show. He's the one that started with Pawn Stars. He started the first season of Pawn Stars. But I would like to consider him one of my good friends now. And I texted him. I'm like, dude, I haven't watched a lot of Eating History, and I've caught myself watching parts of it today and really enjoying it. And like, I've caught myself with a smile on my face, ear to ear. Okay, going back to History Savior with a huge $19.99, $20, may as well say, super chat there says, hope everyone is doing well. He said, don't drink that. Laugh out loud. Lots of lettuce. I don't know if you guys ever watched Leon Lush here on YouTube. I used to love watching him. His videos, they're different now. Not so much to my taste as they used to be, but I think all YouTubers go through changes and whatnot throughout time. Some of them don't, but most do. Anyways, thanks so much, History Savior. We got to get History Savior to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And I see Roller Yak is in the chat. You guys, I assume he's probably going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. If he is, if you don't care, Sean, send me a link to, if you're doing the live stream tomorrow, I will post it in the chat for folks to turn on their, it's a reminder. Not a notification, but a reminder. You guys got to get yourself some gooey butter cake for the holiday season's coming up, man. You know, November's not far away. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Yeah, everybody says you gotta start shopping early online, or you're not gonna get what you want or need. It's always been that way. Like, really, well, ever since the technology age came around. Put flat in my freaking mouth, and man, I think I want to have one of these. I think with Miss Marilyn's blessing, I'm gonna have one of these to go along with these two. I'm drinking both of them. I don't even care. Like, I want this to be a fun live stream. I repeat, I am not a drinker at all. Period. End of story. I'm just not. right? But when I do, it's something like this. It's something old. This one right here, I have no clue as to the age of this one. I don't think it's too old. I'm going to say it's probably, again, this is probably 90s or 2000s, along with this one is probably 90s to 2000s, maybe even, yeah, maybe like late 2000s on this one. Probably maybe the same with this one, maybe even earlier. I don't have a clue because everything that I can find online about these two does not give me much detail on these labels and where these would have came in. And especially this came from a microbrew. See, microbrewed in Canada. Imported by G. Radden and Sons Incorporated, Seattle, Washington. And they're both super duper chunky. This one maybe a little bit more than the other. I don't know. This one's pretty chunky. This one's pretty chunky. And I've been going to drink this nasty boy here for like a month now, and the last couple I didn't want to get near it. So anyway, all right, just reading CT's text that I got from him there, man. It's good to have you on here, buddy. We all miss you whenever you don't make it on here. I want to do this to where I'll at least try to save this if I can. I know I shouldn't be using my knife like this, but if I cut around it like this, maybe it'll go back together looking halfway decent. Although I'll probably mess up this aluminum wrap on the top here. It's just like thin aluminum foil. I'm going to start with the Octoberfest, and then go on to this very dark, disgusting ale. I'm not an ale guy, I've come to find out. Again, I'm not a drinker. I've never been a beer guy, never been a liquor guy, never been an anything guy as far as drinks go. And I have come to find out, after trying so many that I've tried, I really don't like the darker stuff. Maybe that's because that's a more of an acquired taste that you acquire after drinking for so many years. Or maybe you start out liking it. I don't know. Oh, good. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. But had a nice little release of air on this bad boy. Which is definitely what you want to hear when you're cracking open a vintage beer. You don't want it to not make any noise. Okay, so that's see, like, you don't like this. I don't like seeing stuff like that. See, that's not even something I could rub off with my finger. That's got to be scraped off. So some of that is stuck to the inside of the bottle. I didn't catch whether Miss Marilyn was cool with me ripping into one of these bad boys or not to have with these. I'm not going to screw around, though. I am going to put these things down the old gullet, down the hatch. Get my phone cord out of the way here. I got to stay plugged up. Sebastian, what are you doing, bud? Come here. Come here. Come here. There. Lay down up there, buddy. Alright, here we go. Flip the camera around real quick so I can talk to you guys. Don't mind my beard. It's all puffy. It's been, I've been sweating, and it's been hot outside today and humid, which causes my beard to go puffy when I sweat. So starting off with the Oktoberfest, this is probably 20, 25 years old. Okay. It doesn't smell horrible. It smells different, though. It does smell different. It's not just your standard skunky beer smell. It definitely has a twist of something. What is that? It's not citrus. As far as the smell goes, anyway, it's not citrus. I can't put my finger on it. Anyway, here we go. Cheers, everybody. down the hatch. Oh, it's cold. Ugh. um. It's got a bitter, sour kind of a aftertaste. Huh. That reminds me of something that I've had before. This doesn't taste old so much. It doesn't really have too much of a old taste. You can't see it, but I can see it. Holy cow. Maybe. Look at that. Oh my god. Look at that. If that's stuck to the side, like, I don't... What else is going on in here? Ugh. Alright, I'm going to finish this one off and we'll get the other one opened up. I hate the bottom. Oh, I hate it. Oh, it's so chunky and bitter. I mean, this bottle looks awful. And the chunks that are left in the bottom, I mean, just a little tiny bit left in the bottom, as you can see. But look at the chunks in that. I could have probably chewed on some of them. This has a smoky, like, almost like a smoke-infused flavor, along with the bitterness. Also like a sour follow-up that kind of puckers your mouth. I have a feeling that's probably what this was like when it was fairly fresh. I've never had this before, but this is, from what I could tell, something that you can still purchase, this exact same type of beer. Like I said, this brewery opened up in like either $13.95 or $13.65, something like that. Something crazy like that. In the 1300s. Like, I've never messed with a beer from a brewery that opened that long ago. That is there's got to be some amazing history to go on with this brewery for it to have held up that many years. I mean, that's just crazy. All right, now for the one that I'm dreading. Where'd my bottle opener go? Oh, there it is. Put my tab back. There we go. Man, I know I'm not going to like this one. I am not a, excuse me, sorry. I'm not a dark beer guy. Okay, that's a good sign. Oh, wow. I barely cracked the seal on this thing, and the smell is 10 times stronger than the one I just had. I guess where it's an ale. Now surely, look under the cap. There's no way that under that cap was supposed to be dark like that. Some of that's black, like chunky. Oh. I am not going to like this, I can already tell you. Oh, man. Why do I even do this? Smoke them if you got them. I'm smoking one to go along with these vintage beers. This is going to be 341 milliliters, which is 11.5 ounces. I thought this bottle was a little bit different size than typical. Typically they're 12 ounces if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm not a beer aficionado or anything, so yeah, this bottle right here is 12 fluid ounces, which I think is the standard size. I think this one right here, for some reason the Canadians had to be different and put it in an 11.5 ounce bottle, like it matters. I guess, I mean, if you save a half ounce on every single one, that would add up there, right? Oh boy, how do I describe that one? It's bad. This one has a distinct trash can scent. You know how, like, you put your trash out, and say the trash people don't get it all out of the can, and then it rains, kind of fills the can up with some of that water, and then that water evaporates off because it gets real hot. That smell that you get out of that trash can, this right here's kind of got that. I don't like it. I don't like the smell of it. I can tell I'm not going to like the way it tastes. Call me a wuss. Call me a complainer. Whew. Call me whatever. Anyway, here we go. Man, oh man. Down the hatch with this 20-some-year-old, probably 20-year-old, older, I don't know, Warthog Ale. Look at that label. What a weird label that is. It's like some sort of weird, like, 1400s warthog mask thing. There we go. Anyway, keeps getting blown out. For some reason, this camera sucks. Whew. Here we go. This one's bad. Oh. Oh, it's really bitter, and it, like, makes my cheeks pucker, my tongue pucker, all that. And that one right there, after I'd taken like 2 gulps of it, I could feel it hitting my stomach, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to agree with me, although I did got it down to there. You guys can see. So I did conquer about half of it. And check this out. This one's got the exact same thing going on as that last one. Look. Look inside that bottle. This one is, let me do this. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see. Can't see that way. Anyway. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. I can't hold it. I can't hold the burps back, I'm sorry. I could cover my mouth and be a little bit more proper about it, so as to have some manners during this session. Trying to hurry through these. It's a little harder than it looks, though, believe it or not. Sometimes it's actually hard to gain the muster, say, to have the cojones to slam down one of these things. And I can't believe I haven't done this yet. I have to say a huge thanks to gabeRILLA. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had either one of these. You guys, go check out his channel. He does all kinds of crazy stuff. There's some we done a really cool video, me and him together back in Chicago back in July. So scroll back on his channel, find that video. I really enjoyed that video. Whew. I really don't enjoy this though. Warthog Ale microbrew. Oh. 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 That one made me start drooling. I think I'm going to be able to keep it down. All right. Whew. Well, that's one heck of a start to a live stream. Definitely should change my whole mood about the whole thing. By the way, let me see if did I get? Okay, cool. Copy. I will be posting a link right here in the, well, I'm pointing at the chat. For you, I'm not pointing at the chat, but for me, I'm pointing at the chat, which, depending on how you're watching it, the chat should be right here. Same place for me as it is for you, unless yours is over here. Sometimes, mine's always over here, though, when I'm watching it. When I'm watching somebody else's live stream, or even my own, I think, rewatching, I think my chat is always over here, but when I'm live, it's right here, in this area. Very weird. If you don't care to hit that thumbs up or down, either way, I don't care. And comment, all that crap, begging for likes and all that horse jazz. You know, whatever. It is what it is. Whoa. Whew. I had, how many other people right here in my chat right now? How many of you guys have also found yourself stuck in a loop of YouTube shorts lately? I've clicked on a YouTube short accidentally, like, you know, be moving my phone or something, watching a YouTube video, and accidentally click on one and be like, oh, okay, yep. And I'm going through the motions, just flicking by one, or letting them roll one by one on their own. I don't get it. Man. The 1 minute videos, 30 seconds to 1 minute videos, my attention span is not short at all. I have a very comprehensive and long attention span. I can sit down and watch whatever. Literally, pretty much whatever. 2-3 hours, whatever. That last one is not agreeing with... It's not agreeing with me at all. Right, I agree with Tanya. If I wanted TikTok, I would go to TikTok. Although I hate TikTok. I even tried. I tried to get into TikTok. I tried to do TikTok myself. And I hate it, man. I just really, 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 really do not like it. Alright, incoming link right now, folks, to the Ration Museum live stream tomorrow at 3 or 5 or 7. I don't know. I'm not sure what time. Or it'll either be 3 or 5. Sean or Ruleryak would be in the chat here, could tell you what time it'll be. But I will try to remind myself to also post that link again for you guys. And one other thing I need to do real quick is, obviously I need to create a post because you know how YouTube freaking hates me. Maybe I brought it on myself. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Let's see here. Sorry guys, bear with me, and we'll crack into that. If that MRE ends up sucking, I will go grab something else, a different ration, like whatever I can find, just whatever's within arm's reach. I have no idea what that might be, but I mean, I've been wanting to eat this yellow curry really bad, so I might eat that yellow curry. Just because I want to know if it's any good and if I need to try to buy more. Boop, boop. Whew. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay, done deal. Oops, I'll show you guys pictures of my. They'll probably get mad at me. I don't care. Pictures of my son. Looks like I only got 4 with this camera. See if I can get it to eat up the whole screen here. You guys can see the reflection of the chat in there. There's my son. Anyway, focus camera. There it is. Still, I don't know how to fix that. Stupid reflection there. Anyway, there he is. For homecoming. Yes, that's what it is. How could that spaghetti be worse than the battery acid you just drank? That's a good question, although I've had some really bad MRE spaghetti before. But you're probably right. I doubt it could be worse than that. Gundog just said, how could it be any worse than that battery acid you just drank? You may be right about that, good sir. But let's find out. Let's get the camera turned around here. Put away the 2 vintage beers here. Man, I have got so many empty cans and bottles. I'm getting overran with them, honestly. Like, I don't know what to do with all of them. I can only display some. I can't display them all. And like I've got a bunch of unopened stuff and stuff I need to get. I need to do a video on this one. I think I showed you guys this one. Here's the I've drank this one I drank. But look at this is the push button one. How freaking cool is that? How cool. I didn't even know anything about this until gabeRILLA hooked me up with a push button beer. A push button beer. Who even knew that was a thing? They did away with this for obvious reasons. If you guys can't guess what that would be, whenever people were shoving their fingers in there, that rim right there was cutting their fingers. So they did away with that. Again, like these, man, these are like razors sometimes. Especially the tabs that you pull off. I mean, you can cut paper with them and stuff like that without any effort, really. And then I also have the bamboo shoots and a cup of coffee there. Oh shit! What else just fell? Oh, that's what I get for drinking two brews to start with. Excuse me, folks. A super chat, Miss Marilyn just said. Oh, History Savior again says, drink the Newcastle. Newcastle? What? Oh, the push button. Drink that. I have to make a video with that because of the push button. I've got to go through the motions on this one and actually make a real video on that one. But if I get 3 deep, I mean, this is probably a 16 ounce here. So 2 12s and a 16. I'd be lit. I'm already a little lit. I ain't gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm not a liar. Just I'm not. I prefer to speak truth. Man, I hope I've got a lot of stuff that's happened and been happening here lately, guys, and I really hope within the next month or two, at the longest, maybe longer, I don't know. It could end up being 2.5 years. I'm not gonna like make believe like it couldn't be, but I have reason to think that possibly in the near future I will actually be able to share my quote-unquote my story. By the way, thank you for that super chat, History Savior, and sorry I had to turn down your offer to drink that Newcastle. I mean, I could go grab another vintage beer. That's not a problem. I'm sure I could go find another. Daniel says that the push button, is new to him. They're very, very hard to find, and they're even harder to find still sealed. Gabe said this is the only one he'd ever seen, and he was kind enough to give it to me. He's been extremely generous with his old steel cans and stuff, man. I'll tell you, he really didn't need to do that for me, and I feel like it does deserve to be, it does deserve a real video. Oh, 4.52% alcohol. Oh, excuse me. Dang it. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I did, but I didn't. You know what I'm trying to say. I just saw mashed beer. I'd like a beer like the mash movie beer, unstamped. You need an opener. What? I'd like a beer like the mash movie beer, unstamped. You need an opener. You mean like they were flat top cans? That was a thing. There was flat top cans there was no way. You had to use one of these and poke your holes in it. I mean, that was a thing. All right, that's like the third or fourth time I've knocked stuff down. So I guess that's going to be a theme for the night. I have some mashed beer somewhere. You know what? I think Eating History still has the mashed beer, which Smitty actually sent me that mashed beer. Smitty, Canadian fella, along with CT and B Temple, those 3 guys right there. I highly suggest you go check out those Canadian guys' YouTube channels, because they all 3 got ration channels, and CT does like pizza reviews, and he meets up with people. It's awesome. So, before I open this up, I'm going to tell you a real quick backstory to this. I tore that one open to see what was inside. Going to hang on to the other one till I get a chance to review it, if that ever happens. What are we talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, CT? I don't know what we're talking about. Are we talking about mashed beer still? Anyway, let me leave that out there. Okay, so this is a Sopaco. Sopaco. Southern Packaging Company, abbreviated, as you can see there, with the dashes in between. That goes away at some point in time. I don't know when that happens, but it does. Now, this particular MRE, the person that I got this from, if you guys have ever seen my videos on the frozen MREs that I had, G Schultz definitely did one. Sticky Fingers did one. I think Gundog might have did one. I'm pretty sure I sent him I sent him the last frozen MRE that I had from this fellow that I got these from. I also, from this same guy, I have a yellow HDR, which is very rare. The last one I saw sold for $200. Mine was frozen for over 15 years. So, chances of mine still being edible are very, very likely. This one right here, though, when I bought those MREs from that fellow, I spent like 3 weeks going back and forth in communications with this guy, maybe longer, asking him the particulars behind how he had done everything. And come to find out, he had some other MREs. He had some brown bags that were not frozen. But if I was to venture to guess, I would bet that he stored them quite well. Now, I have not had any of the brown bag MREs that I got from him. I just found them again. I hadn't seen them in probably 3 years. I just dug to the bottom of this pile today. Found the yellow HDR, and I found I found one corned beef hash, and I found 2 omelet with hams, and this. The 2 omelet with hams. One of them was an older omelet with ham that didn't have the boxes on each side. And the other one was like a 92, 93 up that had a box on both sides. This particular spaghetti feels like it's older to me. There is a box in there, but there's not one on both sides. And after like 1992, there is a box on both sides of the spaghetti. So this particular spaghetti, I'm guessing, is probably from 1992 or before, maybe 91 or before. We're going to find out. But I venture to guess that this fellow right here probably stored these quite well. He was somewhat of an aficionado of storing MREs. Like I said, he did freeze. How many did I get from him? Probably about 10. I think I got 8 or 10 frozen MREs that he had frozen for 15 years, some of them. And he did put some in increments. Some of them had only been frozen for like 12 or 13 years. And these were the ones he didn't freeze, but I have a feeling that these are going to be in... I don't know. I hope it's in really good shape. But we're fixing to find out. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I have a little bit of indigestion from the, those things that I had earlier. I need to sharpen this. It's pretty sharp, but it needs sharpened. Uh-oh. Okay, so there is 2 boxes in there, but they're not put on either side. That's kind of weird. And it looks like 1992 is the year. So I was right on the money. This is a 29-year-old MRE. I figured 30 because I thought it would be 91, but that's cool. That's good. That's good. 92 was a great year. A great year for MREs, guys. I don't know how familiar most of you guys are. Oh! Look at that! Look at that little gem that just popped out of that spaghetti. Spaghetti. Look at that. Look at that. Not freaking bloated. Not nothing weird. Man, look at that. You know what? That candy bar right there is worth more than the MRE itself. If I was to sell this MRE on eBay, I'd get like, maybe 15, 20 bucks out of it. If I put this Mars bar right here from 1992 on eBay, I would get 15, 20 bucks out of this single chocolate bar. How crazy is that? Anyway, that's an awesome find. I love finding vintage chocolate bars. I love collecting old candy. I love it. I love looking at it. I love the nostalgia of it because, look, when I was a little kid, these were on the shelf in the convenience store. We had a place called the Bowling Alley, and then we had another place called, I just called it Dave's. because this guy named Dave owned it. He was always like beet red with sunburn. He had real long hair, and he always wore a trucker hat. He wore his tennis shoes with no laces, or he left them completely unlaced and like flopping around on his feet. And he always had a button-up shirt with no shirt on underneath it, with the button-up shirt wide open, and a pair of cut-off shorts. Do you guys know the guy that I'm talking about? Like, everybody has known a guy like this at some point in time in their life or another. But when I was a kid, like, I looked up to this guy as being one of the coolest freaking dudes on the planet. Like, I thought, this guy has got it all figured out. Look how cool he is. He owned this little convenience store and down below it had this wrecker service with a garage underneath it, and they like did all kinds of cool stuff underneath there. Man, I miss Arbuckle. We called that place Arbuckle. That's what we called that place. It just hit me like a ton of bricks there. Anyway, this is a 1992, and as you can see, there's a brown spoon in it. Now, Roller Yak just did a 1992, and his had a white spoon in it. So, at some point in time or another during 1992, they either switched over to the brown spoons, or Supaco did brown spoons, and other manufacturers still ran out, used their white spoons. But definitely 1992, the brown spoon shows up for the first time. It's the first time it shows up in your daily MREs. And look at that nice little bottle of Tabasco. Looking really, really good. I gotta say, that is an encouraging sight. The Tabasco can tell you a lot. And here we have a package of crackers. This 279th day. So this is definitely late in the year of 1992. And I was craving these crackers last week, and I couldn't find a pack. How sad is that? And since then, I've been looking through my stuff, and I found like 20 packs of crackers. I just could not find a pack last week. What else do we have? We have our spaghetti with meat sauce. Obviously, that's going to be part of the meal. Or should I say, the main part of the meal. Alright. Should tilt that down just a little bit, so as to not have the beer cans in there. Look at this. Bling bling. That right there is money. Money, money, money. Money. Okay, there's, wait. 247th day of 1992 on the good old maple nut cake. If this thing is still good, oh, am I going to be happy. Ingredients. Number one ingredient is sugar. Second ingredient is flour, and then nuts. Third ingredient is nuts, and the fourth ingredient is shortening. And then whole eggs. That is not a good ingredients list when you're trying to eat something that's 30 years old. But, it is what it is. Oh. And we have a cheese spread from the good old 1992 from Thermopack, from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Good old Stone Mountain, down there in Stone Mountain, they got that cheese spread. You like that cheese spread? They got it down in Stone Mountain. What else we got in here? We got an orange beverage base from the 202nd day of a 92. Nice. And last but not least, we have accessory packet A that has coffee instant, cream substitute, sugar, salt, chewing gum, matches, toilet tissue, and cleaner. Oh, hand cleaner. Sorry, not hand cleaner. Hand cleaner. This is one of the mid-size accessory packets. Okay, so they had bigger ones that were about that long, that tall. And then they also had some that were about that big. Right there. The little tiny ones. I have some of those stashed around here and there. This is a mid-size one. These are so much variety as far as the size of packaging, the color of the tint of the brown. Pretty weird. Standardized until they went with the clear ones, as far as I can tell. So let's get get this opened up real quick. Even burying your nose in a 90s accessory packet, it's almost the same as one with cigarettes, but it's missing that tobacco scent that is so pleasant. Sorry about that, folks. And we have the green mint chiclet style gum that's kind of faded. I'm not going to lie, they're not looking the best. What else do we have in here? Let's dump that out. Here is Steve 1989's favorite little wet nap. This is his favorite. The smell of it. I don't know why that stuck in my head. Why that was his favorite. Some Tuffco TP, the white variety. See, a couple years earlier, this was blue. And of course, we have our, there we go, D.D. Bean & Sons matches that are red tip, black matches. And there's our cream substitute dry non-dairy. And of course, we have the brown Taster's Choice that actually, this might actually still be good. It feels really good. And there's 4 grams of iodized salt, which is entirely too much. And also 6 grams of Domino sugar, which is honestly just enough. Just enough for me to get all the sugar I need in my coffee. Wait a second. Okay, yeah. I was like, where's my coffee? But yeah, it's the Taster's Choice. Duh. Alright, let me get this spaghetti into the boiling water. And then we'll get the rest of this tray up. That way. And they really glued these things together back then. There we go. Alright, what do we got here? Man, that feels awful liquidy. Spaghetti with a meat sauce. 210th day. I'll be right back. Put some bowl of water. Alright, I'm going to give that 5 minutes in the boiling water, which will put me at 5:50 or 58 minutes on my timer right here. I told you guys I've been watching Eating History, and I find myself thinking to here's what I've been thinking to myself. Like, even if I wasn't the host of this show, like, I would still love this show. Like, it's really good. They've done such a good job on it. Oh, you son of a... Add 1 Tabasco sauce, fall down. And yeah, see, I shouldn't have drank those both, I guess. I shouldn't have drank both of those before starting this. Wow. So I just dropped 2 Tabasco sauces. All kinds of stuff back here that's fallen that I didn't know about. What is this? That's not. Reproduction MRE. MCI. What is that? What the heck? All kinds of crazy stuff down here. Chicken fajita MRE with man, I don't know. A bunch of crazy stuff down here I didn't know was was back there. Anyway, let me get a tray up here real quick. Let's see if that brown Taster's Choice is any good. That'll tell us a whole lot about what we need to know here. There we go. You need to go out, Sebastian? Hey, Sebastian. You need to go out, buddy? Hang on, guys. I gotta put the dog out. Come here, buddy. Oh. That red rock away, bud. I'll have to go back and get him in just a second. Got a minute and a half before I gotta go get the spaghetti. Let's get the old nut cake opened up. This is not the type that was glued in. That was back in the 80s when they still glued them into the box. Excuse me. Go. No sugar. We got our salt, wet nap, TP matches and gum, and Tabasco over here. Alright. Let's find out if this coffee is any count. I'm very curious. Oh, look at that. You know how rare it is for me to get a Taster's Choice that's still good? This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at that. So unusual for me to get a Taster's Choice that's still good. I mean, I have zero luck when it comes to the old Taster's Choice. Whoops. Yep. Fingers aren't working so well. Okay, it's time. I gotta go get the dog and the spaghetti. Be right back. I hear you, bud. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Hurry up. Come on, I ain't got time to wait on you. Go. Come on. Go. Okay, 5 minutes is definitely not too long in my opinion, but at the same time it can be too long. Like, I don't know. 5 minutes, really all you got to do is heat it up. I mean, it's a meal that's ready to eat. It's already cooked. It's ready to go. So 5 minutes is way too long to actually heat that up in proper boiling water. I should put it in less time to have a whole lot better chance of it not tasting like the packaging. And here's our Domino sugar. A dominant brand throughout history. Domino sugar been around for ages and ages. Made by the Amstar Sugar Corporation. But we all recognize Domino as being a predominant brand. And here's our cream substitute dry non-dairy, made by the Giannis brothers. They've been around for a minute now too. Still making creamer today. the Giannis brothers. Let's see Robert in the chat there. Good old Bob. I've got an MRE from Bob that's it's complete, but it's ripped open. I wouldn't mind having that thing, trying it out. I think it's probably okay. All right. Just seen one of my scary video channels that I watched notification come up there. All right. Let's add some boiling water. Man, it's too bad I didn't get a cocoa beverage powder with this. That would have been nice. I could go for a 90s era cocoa beverage powder. All right, here we go. Look at that. That looks proper. And that is about the 6 ounces that it calls for. Now, the creamer says that it mixes with 8 ounces, but the coffee says 6. So this time I went ahead and went with the 6 to make it the way it's supposed to be made. And, of course, Bobby coming out to see us. He only makes his appearance once I add the hot water. Next on the list is our orange a beverage base, a powder, 202nd day. I think this might be a little bit chunky, but I wasn't sure on this one. I was thinking this one could be rough. But wow, look at that. Not chunky at all. Got to try a little bit of that. That straight up looks like vintage Tang. If you guys remember what Tang looked like as a kid. Doesn't taste like Tang though. It really has. Okay, so that does have a bit of an aged flavor to it. Just the powder on its own. Oh, water bottle. There we go. That calls for 12 ounces. I just gave it about 10. 12 ounces is pretty much full up on this cup right here. May even be exactly a 12-ounce cup. I don't know why I keep opening these spoons. I do not need any more open MRE spoons because I don't throw them away. I wash them and reuse them. Save the planet. One MRE spoon at a time, right? That looks really good though. I gotta say, that's got a really nice color to it. It's got a kind of a thick appearance to it. Take my thumb off of there so I can show you. It's got kind of a thick look to it. Now that will settle. I can almost guarantee you. I'll set it down right here. And by the time I pick that up to take a drink of it, it will like be clear. I mean, it'll still be orange, but it'll be clear, like see-through. Somehow I just managed to get that all over me. Again, starting a live stream off drinking too is changes the whole dynamic of the whole friggin' live stream. Oh, cool! I got it on my shirt too. Yeah, yeah. Because that's how it works. You get it on your shirt. Okay, no tear notches. No, okay, that might be considered a tear notch. Yep, that is a tear notch. I'm talking crap. Here we go. That's a pretty good hiss there. 90s era crackers, like early 90s era crackers, is when they did away with the salt. Malted barley eased up. The salt's in them. I mean, as you can see, if I can get that light to catch it just right. It's in there, but it isn't on them. Yeah, a lot lighter on the malted barley flavor than the generation previous, late 80s, and obviously early 80s was a really, really strong flavored with the malted barley. I have a frozen MRE that Steve 1989 gave me. It's a lasagna, and I don't know any of the history behind it. I need to get with him and find out more about that. So give this cheese spread a good old knead, because I haven't done that yet. It actually feels really malleable. I gotta assume this might actually still be good as well. I mean, there's some delamination going on, but I'm not too concerned about that on a cheese spread because it's not happening anywhere else. Now, the nut cake. The nut cake goes from this edge all the way to this edge. I mean, it's legit taking up this entire package. So if I was to just try to rip it, I'd literally rip that much off the nut cake. So maybe I should take my knife and slit it open. See, I told y'all. It's like they poured them in these things and cooked them in the pouch. But look how light colored that is. Holy cow. I didn't expect it to be. Wow. That looks really good, guys. That is a great sign. I'm gonna have to cut that. Oh, there we go. This thing looks really good. Look at that. It's huge, too. Look at that. That looks amazing. Ooh, it smells really good, too. It smells like some straight-up maple syrup. No joke. That is one of the best-looking maple nut cakes I have seen in a long time. First time me and Steve 1989 got together, we had a maple nut cake and a cherry nut cake from 1991 from a case that K-Man actually brought to the meetup, and they were virtually perfect. They were so good. I mean, that's just when you have that happen, you feel like it's going to be a once in a lifetime experience, which sometimes it may be. You don't know if you'll ever get to have that experience again. You just don't know. Look, that's starting to clear up. It's not quite cleared up yet, but it's got a lot of stuff on top of it, which is kind of unusual. All right, let's take a look at this spaghetti. I'm not going to just dump that onto the tray. I'm going to put it in a bowl. That way it makes it easier for me to clean up, and it also makes it to where I can pick it up and show it to you guys. All right, I'm smelling a little bit of the metallic packaging, which, like I said, I wish I wouldn't have boiled it for as long as I did. That's my fault. I should have really only put it in there for like 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Because you're not going to cook off any type of bacteria in here. If it's got bacteria going on, you're most likely going to be eating it anyway. Wow, that's hot. Woo! Burn the old fingers. Yeah, buddy. Man, my fingers are on fire. On fire. I don't know what song I'm singing. Something about being on fire. Alright. Well, that don't look much like spaghetti. That looks awful. Let me take a look at this package. I want to know who made this. This is a packed by Shelf Stable Foods Incorporated, Evansville, Indiana. Let's check a look. Let's check out the ingredients. Beef cooked is the #1 ingredient, which is amazing. That means it has more beef in there than any. Well, take that back. Water, and then beef cooked is your main solid ingredient, and then you got your spaghetti, and then a monosterate. I guess it's spaghetti with monosterate. Glycerol monosterate added, and tomato puree, tomato paste, Parmesan cheese, modified food starch, dehydrated onion, salt, sugar, and flavorings with spices. So, very, very simple ingredients list, to be honest. But, man, just don't have a whole lot of hope for this. Got Parmesan cheese up in there. You got your spaghetti noodles. You got your salt, your spices, sugar. There's but lots of meat. Okay, so lots of beef up in this bad boy. Kind of like a cheesy meat sauce added to this. It's not a Chef Boyardee, but it's going to probably taste similar. So 30-year-old spaghetti. It's going to be extremely hot. I can see a little bit of onion. Oh, man. Onion up in there. Right there. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a little chunk of onion. It's kind of cool. And then there's all kinds of meat throughout there and little tiny, tiny chunks of sauce. And there's look like spaghetti right there. Or, I mean, cheese right there at the top. So, I guess here we go. Down the hatch. Huh. Super chat, everybody says. CT says, wife's got my bath running. I'll say goodnight. CT, you taking a bath, dude? No, it's all good, man. Thank you so much for the super chat, CT. And I had to give you crap about the bath. Taking a bath. I haven't taken a bath since I was forced to take a bath because I had my leg almost ripped off. All right, Cat. We're not doing this where you knock everything down. Go on. Yeah, thank you so much for the super chat, guys. Go check out CT's channel. Smitty just popped in and says, about time CT was wondering what that smell was. Oh. So I guess Smitty, all the way up in Canada, could smell CT all the way on another section of Canada. I think CT's more towards the middle, and I think I could be mistaken. Smitty, tell me if I'm right. I think you're like more towards the western side of Canada, or am I mistaken? But thank you guys for those super chats, man. Holy cow. The spaghetti. You can't tell there's spaghetti in that. I mean, not even a little tiny bit. There's absolutely no texture left to that spaghetti at all. But that being said, it's not metallic, so I didn't leave it in too long to get, to pick up too much of that packaging taste. And it tastes like a really nice, solid spaghetti meat sauce. It's not bad at all. It's really good, actually. The seasonings are really nice. The tomatoes good. It's got a really nice acidic, sharp flavor to the tomato. It is a spaghetti mush for sure. I could definitely go without even having the spaghetti in there. That would make it more appealing to me, just to have the sauce. But since we have these crackers, right, it seems like this could make a really good, like, dip, so to speak. Oh, man. They're just kind of cracking up on me. Let's take a look. Like, just a meat sauce dip on a cracker. I hadn't tried the cracker yet, but hang on. I'm just going to go for it. Bourbon Street Nola said, can't be out Canadian. Can't be out Canadian. Laugh out loud. So Bourbon Street Nola, are you in Canada? In Canada? Or are you just trying to outdo their nice Canadian nature? And thank you for that super chat, by the way. Gator, yes, you are very correct. It's just like baby food. I mean, that you couldn't have a better description. It's like baby food spaghetti. I mean, it has a more of an adult flavor, but as far as like the texture goes, straight up baby food. That's what that is. Now, these crackers, I need to try these on their own. Because something, I don't know if it's spaghetti doing that. I'm going to try these pieces real quick. So those crackers are so fresh and tender. They're crunchy, but they're also like, you know how when something's super fresh and it's a crunchy item, but it's fresh. It has more of a soft crunchiness to it. That's how these crackers are. They're not more like that stiff. I prefer the stiffer crunchiness to them. These are not bad. These are not bad at all. Other than the texture being weird, which don't get me wrong, it definitely is very strange. And you guys, if you know anything about me, you know I'm a texture eater. I'm a visual eater. And whenever it becomes gelatinous like this, look where I just scraped across that. It looks like, I don't know what the heck that looks like. It doesn't look good. It's not appetizing looking at all, right? Yeah, kind of like a tender cracker. Yeah. You know, like when you first open a pack of Ritz crackers and you eat those first few, right? And they're a little bit softer than you prefer, or that's the way I am. And then, like, I'll wrap them up, put them up, and get them back out in a week or so. When I get them back out that next time and they've sat a little while after they've been open, they're a little crunchier. I like them better that way. And these crackers are, like, insanely fresh. These are overly fresh, actually. The Parmesan cheese comes through really strong. There's a lot of cheese flavor going on here. The meat is really nice. There's a lot of flavor coming from that beef. I pick up a lot of the fat from the beef. It's just brings a lot of flavor punch with it. Yeah. But as far as MRE crackers go, these are some of the softest ones maybe I've ever had. Very soft, very fresh. I mean, not that it's a bad thing or anything. I'd say a lot of people would probably prefer it this way. It doesn't get much fresher than that. I think my son just got home. It sounded like. Just heard a car door. It's only 10 after 10. He should not be home yet. Maybe it's the wife. I don't know. Hi, kitty. I'll take one more quick bite here and then we'll get that cheese spread a cracking. I could eat all this, but I just, it's not doing it for me. It's really not doing. Again, I'm a texture eater, and that's like, oh man, that is just not right. It is not right. I'd prefer to eat something like that. Which I think this came from Blindside. I think Blindside hooked me up with this. I don't know what all is in there, but probably something pretty good. That or that curry. What the? Alright, let's check out the cheese spread. Alright, place your bets right now. It's a 50-50. Right here in the chat, who thinks the cheese spread is going to be good and fairly fresh, and who thinks it's going to be nasty and pretty disgusting? Remember, it's partially started to delaminate, and it very pliable and soft. Take what you will from that. That could mean many things. Mike says it's going to be nasty. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. James thinks it's going to be good. Let's get the consensus and see what y'all are thinking, because I'm curious. Who's going to be right? Who's going to be wrong? Let's see. Kaylin says it's going to be nasty. Phoenix hopes it'll be perfect. Oh, wow. My burps are awful. Daniel says it's always nasty and pretty disgusting, so it doesn't matter. Miss Marilyn says she thinks it'll be good. MC thinks it'll be fresh. Denise thinks it's going to be greasy and a chunky mess. And Smitty thinks it's going to be orange. Robert thinks it's going to be good. Bus Stop says he digs the jalapeno cheese spread. And Bus Stop thinks it's going to be nice and greasy. Well, let's find out. Ooh, that was actually kind of strange. Look at the coating on the cup. Very odd. Tastes okay, but it's different. It's different. I don't know. I don't know how to describe the difference. All right, here we go. Let's find out. Oh, yeah, that's chunky. It's very brown. Very brown. And quite chunky. I would call that borderline cottage cheese looking. Let me give it a smell. Oh, I just stuck my nose in it. Yeah. Awesome. Now I'm going to not be able to not smell it. Took my breath away a little bit. Yep. It's very strong. Very strong. It has that a little bit of almost like an ammonia effect. Ammonia effect. You know how if you've ever smelled ammonia in like a Windex cleaner or something like that, and it kind of takes your breath away? That's exactly what that does. It must have some sort of the same properties, if not the same properties as that ammonia. And it just takes your breath away. Very odd how a food can do that. And maybe even still be edible. So a lot of people don't believe that I eat this. So just flip the camera around there real quick. As you can see, that is the brown and chunky. And pretty nice little dollop of cheese spread there. That's not bad. That is not bad. Surprisingly, I would call that surprisingly pleasant. I wouldn't call it overwhelmingly good, but passable, yes. Edible, yeah. I think if I had to, I could eat that whole package of cheese spread and get away with it. Is it how I would prefer my cheese spread to be from the late 90s or early 90s? No. But from talking to some folks that have been in the military back in the early 90s, the color of the cheese spread was more brownish and almost like a skin tone, peachy, browny type color, even when it was fresh, according to them. Now, all I can do is take their word for it, being honest. I don't think we quite had yellowed out the cheese spread so much at that point. So it's definitely got a strong flavor to it. Cyanide Cookies with a huge super chat just came in and said, I got too hungry watching this, Smokey, so I just cracked open a CR1M laying around. Moroccan lamb. It is, and I blame you. Well, I think that's a pretty good thing to blame me for, I must say. If everybody cracked open a CR1M and blamed me for it, I'd feel alright about that. That is not a bad day. And Moroccan lamb, I mean, that's pretty exotic for a ration. Let's be real. Or maybe not so much over there, but it is here. If we were to have lamb in an American ration, we would be calling guys fancy pants for seeking out a lamb ration. Oh, of course they do. They have had lamb up in Canada. I was going to say Canada. Canada. Anyway, I haven't had that lamb ration from Canada. I don't think. Maybe I have. I don't know. I had one. What was that I had? It was something fancy. Fancy MRE main dish. I can't remember what it was. Flip the camera back around. Let's see what else we... Oh, yeah, that nut cake. Nut cake. Got the Mars bar. I'm debating on whether to open this thing up or not. I mean, that's up to you guys, really, I guess. But that's such a collectible. It's such a delightful little thing to ruin for really not much of a reason other than for me to take a bite of it. I will go back for... Oh, man, I just stuck my thumb in that. I'll go back for another bite of the mushy spaghetti. It's still good and warm, too. Gutter thinks would be tasty. Bus Stop says to open it. I'm not beyond that. I had one up on my shelf back here, but I knocked it down last week. No, that was a desert bar. I don't know. I might have knocked one of both down. I haven't tried the coffee yet. Nah, I'll just take a bite of spaghetti. I'm gonna wash it down with this weird orange drink. I need to clean my spoon off. That's what I need to do. Yeah, it needs to be cleaned. Use my Canada napkin over there. And I need to give this another stir because it's just like really weird. It's got a very viscous look to it. It's crazy how it's stuck to the side of that cup like that. I don't remember one ever doing that. Not quite this bad anyway. Very oily looking. Mm-hmm. Even after I mixed it up, this is somewhat different than other orange drinks that I've had from this era. Typically, I get a really strong tang type flavor. This is a different type of orange. I don't know how to describe it. It's much sweeter. Almost like if you guys have ever had a blood orange before, that's the flavor that I'm picking up from this, is like almost like a blood orange flavor. Really sweet, overly sweet, if you will. And the orange flavor is different than a standard, just, what type of orange is that? Navel orange is what I'm trying to think of. Like a blood orange. It's different. But I'm really, really, really looking forward to chomping into this huge nut cake. They used to be like that big. earlier versions of this, they were about that big. I want to say they were 4 ounces. I could be wrong. I'll bet you this is 6. Hang on. Let me look. Wow, was I way off. 3.2 ounces. Maybe they were like 2.6 or something like that in earlier years. But this one definitely got the treatment. Almost like it got poured in the bag and cooked in the bag. That's what it looks like. Like, look at the edges and stuff. The only way you could get something like that is almost if it was cooked in this form. And, well, that chunk's wanting to come off of there anyway, so let's just go ahead and take that. Oh, there's a chasm in there. There's a big old, like, air bubble that was in there. Do you just see that? Very weird. And it's got such a strong maple smell. So strong. I just can't wait to give it a try. I'm going to just nibble off the edge first, because I've had bad luck with these before. The nuts of somewhat dark. They got a nice crunch to them, though. There's nothing at all wrong with that. Nothing I could say negative about that. And the maple flavor is so natural and strong. It really is strong. Live stream cut out yet again. And I saw a super chat come in. Thank God it's still here. Mulder13 says, "Hi, Smokey. Want to send you a Russian IRP to try out after our chat last week. Would be interested in your opinion of it." Well, okay. Sure. Yeah, man. I'm down for any Russian that I love Russian rations. I've never had a bad one. I've had a couple mains that were definitely well past their best buy date. But other than that, like, I've had plenty of Russian rations that were within date that were fantastic. And sure, man. Heck yeah. That's awesome, dude. Much appreciated. Thank you for that super chat, by the way. I can't remember exactly what I was saying right before that cut out, but this is like, it's got a really natural maple flavor. They had to have used real maple syrup to make these, like Canadian maple syrup, because it's so on point and natural. It's not like that crap that we have that we call maple syrup here in the United States, that corn syrup type deal. This smells and tastes like real maple syrup. I mean, it's like a pancake with nuts in it that's 30 years old. This thing's 30 years old. That's hard to believe. This is so good. I don't know. I'm going to take a bigger bite because I was pretty precautious. I just ate like a little chunk off of it. And from what I could tell, it was good. But I'm going to really go in this time and let's find out. That air bubble's freaking me out, though. Maybe I should go for a different piece, because, like, I don't know, maybe that caused. Yeah, look, oh wow, look at the cake. Look at that. That's got a really nice light color to it. I've seen these things 10 times darker than this. I'm not joking. 10 times darker than this. Look like they came through a toaster compared to this one. I'm going to eat that whole chunk down the hatch. Mmm. What's normal? The air bubble? Pretty different. That's a pretty weird air bubble. I've never had one that had that big of an air bubble in it. Or really. Yeah. Creamy. Strong maple flavor. The nuts are not weird at all. I think there's like chunks of almond or pecan or something like that in there. I don't know. Let's look. Probably walnut or something. I don't know. Sugar, number 1 ingredient. Flour. 3rd ingredient, nuts. 4th ingredient, shortening. 5th ingredient, eggs. Then we got water, starch imitation maple flavoring. Really? That's imitation. That is fantastic. I wish you guys could smell that. I really do. That is the most natural smelling maple flavor or smell. And it tastes really natural too. Because I went through this thing where I was eating natural maple syrup from Canada. Because CT sent me some. And then there was a little bottle with Jack of Trades breakfast MRE that I did. But anyway, so the imitation maple flavoring. I can't believe that. Salt and baking powder. It just says nuts. I don't know what kind of nuts those are. It doesn't seem like they're not peanuts, I don't think. There could be some chunks of peanuts in there. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, really. I'm pretty sure there's either pecan or walnut in there. And almond. I'm pretty sure that's a chunk of almond. Let me dissect this a little bit more here and see if I can tell. Just by cleaning this off and looking at it. I mean, that looks like a piece of walnut to me. Especially with, I can see veins in it. But that's what that looks like, is a piece of walnut. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Although I'm not sure. It does soak up kind of some of the coloring from the dough. So always the nuts being a little darker is not a huge red flag or anything. The dough is spot on. I mean, really. There's no after effects in my mouth. It doesn't. There's no like stinging, numbness, coating in my mouth. Nothing like that. I mean, it's just like eating a fresh piece of food. No complaints whatsoever. Goldberg? I don't know what Goldberg is. Let's see how this coffee is. I made it probably with 6 ounces of water, which I typically don't do that. Usually I always go with the 8. But this was a good taster's choice, which I very rarely ever get a good taster's choice. And this was a perfect one. So, I can't believe how good this MRE has been. It's got me wondering. I wonder if he froze these as well. So even if say he did freeze these, by the time he got them in the freezer, it would have been they'd have been like probably 5 or 6 years old by the time he got them in when he started freezing MREs. So 5 or 6 years out of the freezer, and then I've had them now for probably 4 years. So that's a total of like 9 years out of the freezer. But they could have spent 15 or so years in the freezer, because really this is in impeccable condition. I mean, just look how light that cake is. It's so good. I can't believe that's imitation. It had me fooled. Had me totally fooled. That is a stellar imitation maple flavoring. I really didn't think it was fake. I don't know what that Goldberg you were speaking of earlier. Goldberg's a military surplus store in Center City, Philadelphia. Oh, okay, Curious Pete. Huh. Never heard of it. I went to a couple surplus stores in New York City. All that time I spent there filming the show and whatnot. I don't know how to put this nicely. Extremely overpriced, and they suck. They didn't have anything good. Never had any rations or anything like that. But I mean, even their other stuff just was a joke. Okay, so this is bloomed a little bit. I'm going to tell you guys. You can see the lines of the pieces there. 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 Right there. See, there's one. There's another right there. There's another line right there. And another line right there. You can kind of see. But why not? Let's go for the Mars candy bar. It's been a long time since I opened one of these and ate it. I mean, it would be a nice collectible for someone. Really, it would be. Do you guys want me to open this, or do you want me to keep it and give it away sometime? Because I'll do that. While you're thinking about it, it's time for a Miss Maryland Camel to come out and play. Oh, yeah. Get one of these bad boys that are aging fine, like a fine wine, more and more by the week. Every time I get to indulge in one, and it, well, I'm not going to keep it. Now, that's definitely not, I'm going to, if I don't eat it, I'm going to give it to somebody, because I have at least 3 of these myself. I've got a really, really good one that I found at some point that feels like it is perfect. I have the first one that I ever opened up and found, which is probably in worse condition than this one. And then I have another one that Steve gave me at a meetup that we were together one time, and I kept it as well. So I have at least 3 of these put up myself, but I will keep it to give away to someone else. Absolutely. Cat, you got to go. Yeah, well, go on. And I'll read back through the comments and see what you guys think I should do. Open it with a knife and keep the wrapper, Matt says. Yeah. I'm near New York City. Hell yeah, it's overrated. It is now. I mean, I wouldn't want to even go near New York City, but New York City 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, about 20, 25 years ago, I don't know. New York used to be so freaking cool. So much culture, so much just, I mean, excitement and, unpredictability. And now it's like, it's different. It's just very different. I'll figure out the candy bar by the time I smoke on this for a minute. JB, you're in New York City? We're in the city. We're in New York City. I'm pretty familiar with New York City now. Of course, I lived in Times Square in Midtown, but, I mean, I did a lot of traveling all over the city on the good old trains. And, yeah. Looks like Tanya might be getting ready to take off. About to leave, she said. I'm hoping to go to Italy someday. My dad's side of the family is from Abruzzi? Abruzzi? Abruzzi. Abruzzi? I think I'm saying that properly. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Abruzzi. Thinking about Abruzzi. Let me wipe the camera off. Is that better? Yeah, it's going to be out of focus, but is that better? Good night, Tanya. I think Tanya's a pretty new name in here. Maybe this is the first live stream Tanya's been to. Well, thank you for stopping by, Tanya, and hanging out with us in the chat over here. Maybe it's over here for you. I don't know. When I turn the camera around, I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, I got arthritis in my back. Getting to be cooler nights, so it doesn't like being upright. I've got a lot of arthritis going on too. Let me tell you something. I'd done it before, and it was like I've forgotten about it. And if you haven't tried this, I'm gonna highly suggest it. I'm not gonna tell you it'll work for you. None of that. I'm not gonna say that. It works for me. I started taking Osteo Biflex again about 3 or 4 days ago, and oh my god, what a difference. I can bend over. I can bend at my knees again. Like, my knees are so shot from my injury. I don't know if I can ever rebuild my knees, honestly. But that osteobiflex, it's almost like it takes um, like an oil can, like just oils up the joints, and you're able to move around and really, really. I mean, the range of motion that I've gained in the past 3 days has been shocking. Really, it has been. So I would highly suggest at least giving that a shot. It's like $16 for a bottle of that stuff, I think, is what I paid for it. And you get 88 tablets, 44 days supply. You take 2 a day. And for me, where it actually works for me, I felt a difference the first day. They say it can take up to a week, but I felt a difference the first day. Glucosamine? I don't know what glucosamine is. Glucosamine. Might have to give that a try. I know that joint juice helps too. Never heard of joint juice before, but I personally, like I said, I'm living proof that the osteobiflex has really, really helped me out as far as um, joint health goes, and as far as like my back too. Like it's helped my back out a little bit. Um, had a couple ruptured discs in my back at one point, but I was pretty much over that injury. I was over that injury, not pretty much. I'd been over that injury for a long time, but where my gait is different and where I stand different now, it affects my back. Like I've had days where I couldn't move at all. So, and if I skipped a live stream, that might have been why. Like, I should start taking some of that before I start getting any symptoms starting to notice. When I run, I don't feel as limber as I used to. I'll tell you what, man, like, of course, stretching beforehand, which I've got to get back into trying to stretch myself back out because I'm so atrophied, I would call it. And, I mean, I've been 5 years without PT. Like, it's 5.5 years without any type of PT. Before then, I was working out. I was doing really good. And thank God I was in shape when I got hurt, or I'd be in a lot worse shape now. I might not have lived through it, to be honest. I've thought that before, and I've said that before. Um, James says, I got pinned down by a Guatemala drug gang shootout in New York City. I hid behind a steel light pole. They had full auto AK-47s. Jesus! That's insane, James. Man, was that before smartphones and, like, been the guy, like, videoing behind the light pole? Fully auto AKs. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel old here, but my body is telling me different. And like I said, I'm not. This is no promotion or no paid promotion or trying to set like. But if something helps me, and I think it might help somebody else, I would say it's worth giving it a try, and that's one of them. I forgot to even talk about how awesome this cigarette is. It's really good. I can't believe how much these have that aged flavor versus the ones that I had whenever I opened them up. They didn't taste as aged as these. These ones taste a lot more like ones that come out of an accessory packet. What are we talking about, Aletha? Number tone? Number tone? I do use a topical NSAID. Looks like Bob's taking off. See you later, Bob. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the chat here. I don't know if all of you in the chat are aware of this, but there are a lot of YouTube creators doing a live stream tonight. Huh. Wonder why. Bust up like who? Give us a list. Give us a list so we can check it out. My brain says I'm 20 years old, but my body says he says in your dreams. Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the way I feel too, man. I feel like I never left my 20s here, but at the same time, I feel like they're way back there. If that makes any sense, my body is not. Saturday night party, laugh out loud. Yeah. So my buddy works on Saturday Night Live. I texted him earlier. I don't know if he got back to me or not. I have to check my text. He does all the special effects. I asked him who was doing Saturday Night Live tonight. Owen Wilson? Looks like it might be Owen Wilson. Let's see here. This is just episode 2 of the newest season of Saturday Night Live. So he just got started last week. Who's the music, though? I asked him who the music was. Oh, wait, no, it's Kim Kardashian. Sorry. And musical guest is Halsey. Halsey. Not a big fan of Halsey myself. Personal preference. Did I have a lamb stew? I don't know if you want to try one. Oh, no. It's on my phone that got destroyed. I filmed Bourbon Street NOLA. I filmed a fancy IMP. I can't remember. Like, there's each year, like 16, 17, 18, 19, there's one meal, one menu that's, in my opinion, like super fancy. Being the lamb, was that lamb stew? Maybe that's not what it was. It was, I don't think I've had the lamb stew. I had, oh man, what was that? I filmed it, and my sound was really, really bad. I tried to fix it in editing. I tried to, like, quiet it down and, like, take the static out, and I could not get it straightened up. So I literally had to scrap that video. And the last video I did of an IMP, which was, I can't even remember what menu I did, but the one that I wanted to put out, I ended up having to scrap it. And it seems like it was like, was it lamb something? I can't believe I can't remember. I can't check because the phone that the data, the file that I had recorded got destroyed with my old, when my phone got ran over. So definitely wasn't Indian chicken. You know what? You guys got me thinking now. I got to open that Mars bar. If that's what I'm going to do, if I'm going to open that Mars bar, I need to do that. But any special effects you guys might see, if you guys ever watch Saturday Night Live, my buddy Richie Smoke, he does all that. He's the guy. Really, I love the guy. Love the guy. Consider him a really good friend. Oh yeah, I was going to my channel. That's what I was doing. Oh yeah, Ration Museum live stream tomorrow. Let me post you guys a link to that right quick. Okay, paste link to the Ration Museum live stream. Actually, no, never mind. That's never mind. That's not it. This is it. Maybe I'll get it. There we go. The second one is a link to the Ration Museum live stream tomorrow at either 3 or 5 p.m. I'm not sure which. You just click into that, go in, and it'll ask you if you want to turn on a reminder. Turn on the reminder, and it'll YouTube should. Last time I turned a reminder on for the Ration Museum live stream, it did not remind me, and I actually was like, had my phone in my hand, it did not do it, which ticks me off. But it is what it is. YouTube sucks anymore. They're definitely not what they used to be. Let me go to my library real quick here. I want to find out what that last video I did was. It's been a long time ago. It's been a while. That's not it. It's way after that. What the heck? I know I did a review well after that. Those are videos from New York. 7 months ago, I was in New York. That weird guy with the chain on and like his junk hanging out. Oh, I did chili. That was the last video I did, was chili. Yep, that definitely wasn't the one I wanted to do. The one I wanted to do was something in mustard sauce. That's what it was. Something lamb? Lamb? What's in mustard sauce? Anyway, that's what it was. That I filmed the one whatever in mustard sauce. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. I have not done the lamb one, though. The lamb stew, I've not. Finally answered your question. Sorry about it. Took me so long. Anyway, let's flip the camera around real quick before I get out of here. And the orange turkey, the turkey orange. Smoked meat and mustard sauce. Boom, Mike. That's it. That's the one. Alright. If I open this thing, it's going to end up being it's going to end up in the trash. That's where it's going to end up, because there's no saving it, really, after it gets opened. And it's pretty bloomed. Yeah. Look at that. Very bloomed, actually. Look at that. Alright, I guess I'll eat that. As soon as I took a bite. Okay, that tastes awful. It tastes old. It tastes rancid. There's definitely a rancid aftertaste there. Actually, no, it's more on the front. It almost tastes dirty. If that makes any sense to you guys. It almost tastes kind of dirty. Yeah, so yeah, there's no saving that thing. Yeah, it's yeah. Too bad. Take a big bite. I'll take a bite. I don't know. It tastes like crap, but I mean, there ain't no taking a bite of that. It's all crumbs. It's literally just there's no solid there to take a bite of. I mean, I can see. Stick my finger. It's just, I kind of did take a bite of it. It tastes old. No shit, it's 29 years old. Yeah, it tastes old. It tastes. Let me get another little read on this. I'm just gonna dump some of this in my mouth. because anyway, why not? It doesn't taste like chocolate anymore at all. Burns my tongue. It has a almost like a really weird cornstarch flavor. Yeah, it's not. That's not food anymore. Yeah, that's not something you should even really attempt to eat at all. I don't think that could come back from the funk that's contained in there. Now, one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going to finish is this nut cake right here. This will not be going to waste. I'll get myself out a pack of jam or something too to eat on them crackers. Because I'm not eating that old cheese spread. I mean, even though it's edible, like, not that I don't find that appetizing, because that looks real tasty to me. One of my favorite foods right there. Oldsmokey, eat me, put me on a cracker and consume me. The dust is, I mean, it's edible, I guess. It doesn't taste like any type of food, really, that you would recognize. It does have a, like I said, almost like a corn syrup type flavor to it, mixed with like an aged. It doesn't taste like milk at all. It just really reminds me of that bitter, rancid chocolate flavor that I've had so many times, especially fooling around with old MCIs and stuff. Anything prior era to this, because there's not a whole lot of solid chocolate, really. I mean, this is it in MREs, which is kind of a shame. I wish they would have put dark chocolate bars in, but dark chocolate's it's not an American thing, really. Smokey, if I can hook you up with the lamb IMP, I for sure will. Hell, you can have mine if it comes down to it. You don't have to do that, man. Really, you don't have to do that. I mean, like I'm sure I'll come up with something for a live stream. It's never a big deal for me to scan through the rations that I've gotten there. But if there's anything else that you ever have spare that you want to see me, like, feel free. But don't feel any pressure to do something like that. You guys don't have to do anything like that, and I'm not going to encourage you to do anything like that either. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to. I'll say that. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I don't like this at all. I don't know how to describe this flavor to you guys. I wish I had a better descriptor for this flavor. It's got a sour smell to it that also comes across in the flavor like a soured milk chocolate. It's just not right. Even after I like put that in my mouth and like let it dissolve, a very little bit of it, I would say a quarter of what I put in my mouth actually melts. So that means that maybe 25% of that's actual milk chocolate contained there. Kitty, honey kitty. Here. Say hello. Say hi. Yeah, you're CT's favorite. CT liked you real good. Oh, yes. Yes. Her's a good girl. Yes, her is. You're still a baby. You're still a baby. Yes, her is. The live stream is not wanting me to continue for some reason. But I'm going to cut it off anyways. Because, why not? I want to say a huge thanks to each and every single one of you folks that turned out tonight. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. Either way, Google doesn't care. They just like to know what you're thinking. They just want information. They crave it. It's what keeps Google going from day to day. Just give me more. American Vomit Chocolate. Very good name for that, because I have a feeling if you tried to stomach down all that, most people would really, really have a problem with the way that tastes. My palate has become accustomed to these type of flavors, so it's not nearly as offensive to me as it would be to 99% of the rest of the population, 99.9% of the 99.999% of the rest of the population. It's not a normal flavor. Unless you're used to eating vintage foods or have dabbled in that quite a bit, that flavor doesn't become normal to you. Nor do you want it to. But I want to say, again, a huge thanks to each and every person that sent in a super chat tonight. Thank you guys so much. We had CT, we had History Savior, we had Smitty, we had Bourbon Street Nola, we had, I'm going to forget some, I'm sure, Cyanide Cookies with a huge $50 Australian, which I'm not exactly sure what that translates to, but $50 Australian, which was huge. I want just thanks each and every one of you guys for being so kind and so generous with your cash flow. That highly unnecessary. I don't mind to do these live streams and that not happen at all, but it's highly appreciated when it does. So I thank you guys so much for that. And again, if anybody out there has something, or even has a, like, point me in a direction of something really cool that I could cook up on a live stream that's vintage, that I could pick up on eBay or somewhere else that you could point me a link to, that I could purchase and pick up, like the macaroni and cheese that I did, which I really, really enjoyed researching that and presenting it and cooking it. It was all fun. I love doing that live stream. If I've talked to anybody here lately, I've referred them back to that live stream to check it out, because I think that was actually a really good one. So, anybody who has any ideas like that, hit me an email or anything like that, because I haven't had a whole lot of time to look, actually. Had a lot going on, but yeah, any help would be much appreciated. Oh, there's Dan. Thanks for bringing us together. Well, thank you, Mr. Cyanide Cookies, or I call you Dan, from Australia. I hope you're doing all right over there in Australia too, man. I get to say this in my real voice instead of just typing it out to you through an unpersonal message later. I've seen a lot of what's going on over there, and it scares the shit out of me, what I've seen. So I hope taste aged steak and some cheese. Steak? Aged steak. I've never had aged steak. I know they do that. That would be a good idea, I guess, to really seek out those aged meats, and aged cheese is another huge one. What did Dan say? It says, nowhere near me. I'm still sitting pretty. Well, thank goodness. Glad to hear that, man, because I really don't want you to have to get caught up in that. Which, I mean, living over there, you never know. I hate that you guys are in that situation, and I hate that you guys don't have the stuff to defend yourself like we still do over here. I'm glad that we do over here, but I hate that you guys don't still have yours over there to take care of business and defend off the attackers. It's been crazy over there, Bourbon Street Nola in Australia. It's been crazy, man. Which luckily it sounds like Dan is not near that, but it's been nutty nutcase over there. Really nutty nutcase. Yeah, they gave theirs up, Joe. You're correct. Yep. I mean, of course they were forced to, but it's a collective thing. It's hard. It's one of those things. You go down that. Once you go down that ugly brick road, it's hard to turn around and come back. It's really not bad. I think the media may be hamming up. Of course they are. Yeah, Dan. Of course they're always craving that next story to make up 10 times larger than what it really is. I mean, I've seen them like filming out in front of like I can't remember where they were at, but they literally like grabbed 30 people and grouped them together, and there was someone with their cell phone that was filming them, and they filmed it, and there was literally nobody else within view of them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the streets are packed." They're like yelling like it's real loud, like, "There's so many people down here, we don't know what's going on, we don't know where to go," and they just had all these 30 people bunched up in a little group, and that's all they filmed, and made it look like it was this total chaos when there was literally nothing going on, nothing happening. The media cannot be trusted. I'm sorry. I hate to be that way. I mean, I don't hate to be that way. It's just the truth. You can't trust anything they say. If you believe it, you need to double check it on your own. If you can see it with your own two eyes, that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I don't believe crap they say, man. I learned my lesson 20 years ago. Honestly, 20 some years ago, I learned my lesson with the local newspapers. They are so hungry for their story, and they will bold-faced lie without any remorse for your well-being or any of your family or anything else. They do not care because they get caught up in their lie. What are they going to do? They're going to print a retraction in the newspaper on the 4th or 5th page when they had it on the front page of the Sunday newspaper. That's what they do. They don't care. Yes, I know. You wanted to come up here and say hello. I got you. Yes, it's okay. I got you. You're wanting that spaghetti, aren't you? You're wanting that spaghetti, aren't you? Silly girl. You silly girl. Here, say hello to everybody. I got you. No, I'm not going to let you down up there. There you go. Oh, say hello. Oh, yeah. I have seen 2 new stray cats in the last 2 days. Today I saw a full-blooded Siamese, and last night I saw a black cat that looked like it had the mange. It looked like it was pregnant. It looked like it was like 15 years old, and she looked completely lost. I gave her food. She was scared to death of the other neighbor cats from across the street over there. I felt so sorry for her. I hope she found a place to hold up, and she's probably ready to pop with the kittens that she had in her belly. Just, I hate people dropping cats off around here. And then that Siamese today, me and my son were standing outside, and he walked back inside, and that cat come walking down the street from the left-hand side of my front door, and just meowing, like it was lost or something. And I was like, I thought it was a neighbor cat, because neighbor has a Siamese cat. And I was like, "Hey, kitty, hey." And it kept meowing real loud, and I walked out there to the street, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this isn't that cat." And I started petting it. It was just, I've never had a cat meow so loud and so much. And it looked like it was missing its bottom teeth, too. And I came in the house and got it a cup of food and took it outside and gave it to it, and I gave it a cup of water. And it was grateful to have it. It was definitely hungry, so I don't know where that one came from either. JB, I should do a cat video, shouldn't I? I really should. Just take a walk out in town here and show all the cats my nightly routine of going over there and feeding the neighbor cats, because they have not been feeding them or something, because they've been starving every time I take food over there. It's bull crap. It's tough in these streets, you're right. First of all, I don't want these cats. I don't want to have to pay to take care of these cats. I got one of the neighbor cats fixed even. Like, what am I doing here? But at the same time, like, I know the consequences of not doing it, and also I can't just leave them out there to starve, which is what would happen if I didn't feed them. Anyway, I've babbled enough. I want to say again, huge thanks to you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up or down. I don't care. Either way. Don't forget to comment on this video after this goes live. The live stream is done. Comments do add up, and Google cares about that as well. It feeds their algorithm bullcrap. And yeah, an idea that I would like to try. I don't know if I could do this, but as long as I change the content, I don't think they could copyright claim me. I would love to sit down and watch some eating history with you guys. Watch, 3 or 4 episodes with you guys, and do like some commentary, read through the chat, and like take some questions and things like that as we watch it. Do like a split screen with my face right here and or over here, and then like the show playing in the background. I would have to have Ruler Gak help me how I would set that up, but I would love to do something like that after I've watched some of it today. I've really enjoyed what I've seen. So I think it'd be fun. I think I could tell you guys all kinds of cool stuff about behind the scenes and crap like that. I've even got pictures that I could pull up, which a lot of them are on that destroyed phone, but I do have some of them. Anyways, that's an idea. I would really like to try to make that happen. I think it'd be fun. JB, I definitely could do the kitty live too. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to finish my nut cake, my fake maple, fake maple nut cake. I'm going to finish my orange drink and my coffee. I've only got a sip of that left anyway. Good coffee, by the way. I never did give a flavor profile of that, but quite good. Taster's choice. Not a whole lot of tannins going on there. Not a lot of that bite or anything. Really nice and smooth, and a pretty light roast, really. But all right, guys. I guess now all I really got left to do is say thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next live stream. Later.